Hey, I just found an old notebook of mine. There it is. It's got some art on the front, and this is the notebook I had when I was in Austin, Texas. I used to live there for 6 months back in late 2005 into early 2006, and this particular entry is called 1,000 Thoughts in One Day. I'd like to read you some of it. Number 1. I had a very up and down day yesterday. I'll probably tell you why in another thought. To keep from getting depressed on a bus ride home, I decided to act like a robot. I was pretty good at it, staying perfectly still, not scratching itches, staring straight forward at one spot. Then I thought I'd try not having human thoughts. What would a robot think if it was just waiting for a bus? I didn't really know, so I started to just count. I wouldn't move on to the next number until I had a visual image of the first number in my head. By the time I reached 100, I decided to continue counting until 1,000. At some point during the end of the 300s, I decided to see if I could write 1,000 thoughts in one day. Towards the end of the 900s, I kept having to back up because I was falling asleep. I started writing this thought number 1 at 7:30 a.m., so at that time tomorrow we'll see if I have 1,000. Number 2. Good morning. Number 3. I can't really motivate myself to do anything unless I think there's an audience, and yet I imagine reading 1,000 of my thoughts would be something of a chore, so here's what I'll do. If you actually get through reading all of these, top to bottom, every single one, email me at john@nutmegunit.com. Tell me who you are and some constructive criticism and also 10 ideas of your own. If you've taken the time to go through all this, you've really got the time to do that. If I get 100 responses, then I'll put that second list of 1,000 thoughts on the net as well. I think that'd be interesting. Number 4. Maybe if we're good, we'll get published. Number 5. I think they should make a camera that's just like a face, like two lenses side by side, two microphones shaped like ears. The result would look exactly like what we see and hear all the time. You could even make a prosthetic nose to get in the shots. An actor would wear it like a mask. Number 6. Or it could be used by a robot cameraman! Exclamation point. Number 7. Or a normal cameraman. Number 8. I'm already noticing something strange about this list. While I'm writing down a thought, I'm thinking the next 2 or 3 thoughts. Number 9. That means not every thought I have today will make it onto this list. Number 10. 10! Haha, this is going to be so long. 11. This is a work day for me, which is going to make this harder. Number 12. I was just in an elevator, and I thought, elevators are great, and then debated whether or not to put it on the list. I compromised and just wrote about it instead. Number 13. I wrote the last sentence in past tense even though the thought was still happening. Number 14. I am writing this. I wrote this too. Number 15. I work at a college as a secretary for the kinesiology and health education department, even though I don't dig sports. There's another secretary here that does a lot more work than me, but she's sick today, so who knows how much time I'll have to do this. Number 16. Probably a whole lot, actually. I've no problem with not working at work. Number 17. At the same time, I don't have a problem with working at work either. Number 18. I wish I had a job on a movie set. I need to be part of that industry. I need to get on a set. Number 19. If I procrastinated less, I'd probably be doing that already, but there's no need to beat myself up. 20. Starting now at number 20, I've made it a goal to do something creative, to create something, every day of my life. If I stick to that, I don't see how I won't find creative success eventually. Number 21 through 36 are on a computer in Austin. I think I emailed them to myself, so maybe I'll read those later. Let's continue. Number 37. I like how most of these thoughts have been about writing these thoughts. Maybe I could title this 1000 Thoughts on 1000 Thoughts. How cool is that? Number 38. I think what's making this work is that I'm making myself do this in one day. That means it's kind of a race against time, but it also means that when this day is over, I'm done with it. It'll be done, accomplished. This isn't a long-term commitment. It's more like an awesome date. I like it so far. I'm happy doing this. Number 39. I'm eating a bagel right now. I'm delivering mail around campus, but there isn't much, so I'm taking my time. Bagels are my ultimate comfort food. When I was little, my mom worked at a bagel shop and would always bring home some bagels. I loved them. Number 40. I had the best childhood I can imagine. That's not to say there weren't hard times. There certainly were, but it was pretty perfect. Number 41. All in all, I've had a good life, and a huge part of that is how incredibly loving my family is to me in general. Number 42 to 52 on Office Computer. Number 53. Okay, so really the only part of my life story you need to know about is my ex-girlfriends. And yet that's the part I crapped out on. I think that's because I'm pretty sure I focus on my ex-girlfriends way too much. That used to be a really bad habit for me. I think because after I broke up with Lauren the first time, I became pretty obsessed with her, and then we got back together. I think that got me in the mindset that I could get back any of them. I thought I was going to with Haley at Reed's fake funeral, but that didn't happen. And then I tried really hard with Shelby, but that was a clear no, too. 54. I didn't get to Shelby yet. She was dating one of my best friends, Greg Hudson, in high school, and then he left for college and started dating this asexual girl. Parentheses. Huh? Shelby and I started secretly. It was very exciting, like an affair or something, and we fell in love pretty hard. It was great. She kicks a lot of ass. Eventually she dumped me, and like a year later I started seeing this girl named Janie in Washington for about a month. I lost my virginity with her before moving to Texas. Okay, now you're caught up on my exes. 35. Another reason I think I dwell on my exes is that it's kind of a point of pride, I guess. Out of all my close friends, I've dated the most, even though I'm not the most attractive. So I keep finding myself slipping my ex-girlfriends into conversations as like a dumb alpha male thing. Number 56. No, wait, Nicole Accardi has definitely dated more than me. Number 57. Writing this constantly is definitely hurting my hands. Number 58. One more backstory thing, then we'll get to my day. Why I moved to Texas. Since the 5th grade, I've wanted to be a filmmaker. Austin is a good town for film, and after living with my parents for a year after high school without going to college, I was definitely ready for a major change. Austin just made more sense to me than LA. Although if I'd moved to LA, I'm sure less people would have asked why. So I've been in Texas since Thanksgiving without any friends. Number 59. Thus, nearly all of my socializing is with friends back home on the phone or online. 60. That's kind of depressing as it is, but even more so that most of these people, at least the ones I talk to on a daily basis, are going through really rough stuff. Gwen's having family struggles over her new boyfriend. Lauren and Shelby are both out of relationships with boys they are in love with, and Janie has the worst life I've ever met. I don't even want to go into it. 61. Okay, so yesterday nothing much is happening really. I have conversations with Janie, Gwen, and Lauren, and each one is pretty bad. I'm not doing anything, just the routine. Then I have acting class, and when I do my scene, the scene before school from Rebel Without a Cause, I fucking nail it. It's like I've just discovered acting, and I'm feeling really great about it. I come out of class on a cloud. 62. Then I call people to tell them about it, and I say I did an awesome job, and then what? Like, what difference does it make? Number 63 to 101 are on the computer. Hey, so that seems like a natural breaking point, because this thing goes on for pages and pages and pages. I think I'm going to read it all, though, so feel free to tune back in for part 2. Alright, bye.